Across the U.S. this weekend, large crowds of pro-Palestinian protesters took to city streets to call for a ceasefire. And on Capitol Hill Friday, dozens of activists were arrested after entering the offices of several senators. 4 weeks ago, more than 1,400 Israelis, mostly civilians, were slaughtered in their homes and at a festival.
Yo, within this nation are all religions and races, and through this integration we call it civilization. You're filled with hatred and wrongly affiliated, presenting misinformation and strongly opinionated, praising false idols as gods globally in vain, celebrated in pride but should be overly ashamed for living greedy lives, given only if we gain. But beats that I paid, donated to soldiers in Ukraine. Like who am I kidding? I'm literally fronting. If it wasn't music I would have done admittedly nothing. Cause I'm American made, trained, pressured in programs, only care if I'm paid, and only in favor of what's catered to us, even though it's clear to see nobody's making enough. So now we're faced with the after effects. It's sad to address, but what happens when our capital's next? Regardless of Hamas, there's karma upon us. It's already started and I don't know how long that the clock is. All I know is I got fans in each, and that they were there for me, so I'ma stand for peace. But seems easier to hate than to believe it be a faith, or see people of other cultures as equal and relate. So if you agree with me, then please do it now. Society's a reflection of what the people allow. Before the shit is the fan, you should know by now that this was all predicted and planned. You think it's random, it isn't. From Iran to 9/11, it was planned or predicted. Yo, before the shit is the fan, you should know by now that this was all predicted and planned. You think it's random, it isn't. From Israel to Palestine, it was all planned or predicted. Yo, and World War III's already begun, as predicted by Albert Pike in 1871, which was discovered later, conveyed in a letter by this Illuminati, KKK, Freemason. Remember, only Confederate general with a statue in Washington, Order of the Palladium, Grand Master of godless men, broke all the wars down in literal increments, which starts by taking advantage of political differences between Islam and the Zionists, the Muslim Arabic world, and all of Israel's occupants, used as a mutual ploy for their plunder, conducted in such a way that they destroy one another, with other countries left divided and lost in vital, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. Unleashing nihilists and atheists, weakening believers with the rise of other Satanists, promoting individuals to go and bash religion, provoking a formidable social cataclysm, as the multitude delusion with Christianity will be deceived as this Luciferian plan will leave theistic spirits without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal without knowledge of where to get it, or ended their adoration and swayed where to put their faith in, turn to the pure doctrine of Satan's manifestation. So now the final cause, what is coming to the Antichrist Lucifer, finally brought into public view, and we ain't got the facts to really do shit, following the general reactionary movement, using races and religions and playing it against us, like Satan's here to save us from the atheists and Christians through paganist traditions, cause they want us to remain blind, conquered and exterminated at the same time. Before the shit is the fan, you should know by now that this was all predicted and planned. You think it's random, it isn't. From the fall of Tsars in Russia, it was planned and predicted. Yeah, before the shit is the fan, you should know by now that this was all predicted and planned. You think it's random, it isn't. From World War I and III, it was all planned and predicted.
It is said that he wrote a letter to a man named Mazzini, in which he predicted 3 world wars. And I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm in which, in all its horror, will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin and savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil.